Good morning students, welcome to linear control systems class. In the previous class we studied what is open loop control system, what is closed loop control system, what is transfer function, what is Laplace transformation, how to represent the given function in Laplace transformation, what is the transfer function of closed loop control system. Those are studied in previous class. Today we will see what is feedback and what are the types of feedback, how to represent them in the block diagram, then what is the transfer function of positive feedback and negative feedback. Those all we will see along with one simple problem we see. Let us see positive feedback and negative feedback. Feedback is a signal which senses the output generated and gives back to the reference input in order to generate the controlled output or in order to control the output. So this is nothing but feedback. It senses the output signal generated, then gives back to the input where it compares with the reference signal and produces the controlled signal in order to control the output. So depending upon that, it is classified into two types: positive feedback and negative feedback. Positive feedback is a feedback where feedback signal is getting added into the reference signal, and negative feedback, in negative feedback the feedback signal is getting subtracted from the input signal. It means at the error detector, if the feedback signal is getting added into the reference input, then it is called as positive feedback. If the feedback signal is getting subtracted from the reference input, then it is called as negative feedback. Let us see in detail how to represent them with the block diagram, then what is its transfer function. So positive feedback, so this is positive feedback, negative feedback. I am just writing there representation. So as you know, input is given to, this is error detector, and across this is nothing but gain, and here we will be getting output. Output is represented with CFS. Now everything is in Laplace transformation, okay, everything is in S domain. Here input is R of S. From here we will take the output. It is denoted with H. Feedback is H is feedback and given to error detector. Here if we have summation symbol, the meaning of this is we are getting added, feedback signal is getting added to the reference signal. That is why it is called as positive feedback. Now here which signal is coming here? Feedback signal is sensing the signal. Which signal it is sensing? Our part of the output and feedback signal. So what is the signal it will give to the summing point here? C of S into H. So this signal will come here and positive feedback it is, and this signal is getting added with the reference input. So which signal it will produce? It will pass through the controller here, R of t plus C of S into H. So this signal will be passed to the controller, hence we will get the required. Therefore C of S will become, what is the signal will be present across the output? C of S will be equal to this signal into this signal, okay, because output is equal to input into transfer function, because transfer function is output by input, therefore output will be input into transfer function. So here G into this signal, R of S here, R of S plus C of S into H. Multiply this, do the simplification, G into R of S plus C of S into H. Take this C of S term left hand side, C of S minus C of S into H is equal to G into R of S, okay. Got it? Then take C of S into common. C of S is common. 1 minus H 1 minus s, so sorry, here multiplication it becomes gh, so this is gh, so 1 minus gh is equal to g into r of s. Now we know what is transfer function, output by input. So here input is r of s, output is c of s. Write the equation in terms of output by input. So c of s divided by r of s, take this on left hand side, so this becomes g divided by, what remains on the right side, g divided by 1 minus gh. This is nothing but transfer function. So this is nothing but transfer function t g divided by 1 minus gh. So this is the transfer function of positive feedback. This is the transfer function of positive feedback, g divided by 1 minus g. What is the transfer function of negative feedback? How to represent negative feedback with the block diagram? This is summing point and we are giving input as r of s. This is passing through the controller, or you can say g is gain, and then we are giving output as c of s. From here we will be taking the feedback, and this feedback is giving back to the summing point where it is compared with the reference input. It is negative feedback. We represent it with the negative symbol. Here we have represented it with the positive. If feedback signal at the summing point, feedback is representing with positive, it is positive feedback. If it is representing with the negative at the summing point, then this is negative feedback. Okay, in simple way. Now what is the signal present here? What is c of s into h, and this signal is giving to error detector where it is comparing with this. So here negative is there, means it will, feedback will subtract from the input. So what you will get here, r of s minus c of s into h. This signal passed to the controller to get the required output. Therefore here output can be written as c of s is equal to g into r of s minus c of s into h. This is what we will write here. Okay, therefore you multiply c into r of s minus g into h into c of s, right? So this is further simplification. Now take this c of s onto the c of s term to the left hand side. C of s minus g into h into c of s is equal to g into r of s. So here take c of s common, 1 minus g into h, sorry, this is minus, this becomes plus after coming to left hand side. So this is 1 plus gh, which is equal to g into r of s. Now write the equation in terms of transfer function. C of s by r of s is equal to, C of s by r of s is equal to g divided by 1 plus gh. So this is the transfer function of negative feedback, and this negative feedback only employed for the closed loop control system. Everywhere we use negative feedback controls, negative feedback only for the closed loop control system. Okay, and the closed loop control system gain is g divided by 1 plus gh, right? Transfer function. Here if minus is there here, you will get plus here. If plus is there at the summing point, you will get the minus sign here. This is the shortcut to remember the formulas. Okay, if it is minus, you will get plus here. If it is plus, you will get minus here. So with this we came to know that what is negative feedback and what is positive feedback, and what is the transfer function of positive feedback and negative feedback. And negative feedback only employed everywhere in the control systems. Hence negative feedback's transfer function is same as closed loop control systems transfer function. Let us see what is the transfer function of open loop control system. See, open loop is represented with, you will be having summing point, then you will be having controller, then you will be having plant will be there, you will be having controller, then no feedback will be there. It means transfer function will be g only. Whatever the input you are getting, same output you will be getting. This is the transfer function of open loop. What is the transfer function of closed loop? Transfer function of closed loop will be, you will be having feedback, right? Therefore, G divided by 1 plus GH, because we employ negative feedback only for the closed loop control system. So this is the transfer function of closed loop control system. This you have to remember throughout the syllabus. To solve the problems, various problems will be there. To solve those problems, we require the formulas of transfer function for both open loop and closed loop. Next, due to the presence of feedback in the signal, what are the things which are going to get affected? That we will see here. So what is the effect of feedback on the different factors? So effect of feedback, what is the effect of feedback on the following parameters? Due to the presence of the feedback, gain of the system, sensitivity of the system and stability of the system going to get affected. How they are going to get affected? See one by one. Gain, sensitivity and stability. These following factors are going to affect because of the feedback. How they affect? Gain of the control system is given by T is equal to G divided by 1 plus GH. Okay. I already told you negative feedback approach only we will be using everywhere. So here, if the value of H is more, value of GH will be more, hence 1 plus GH will be greater than 1. If 1 plus GH is greater than 1, value of the G is going to decrease. So the overall gain will decrease. Okay. Then hence transfer function also going to decrease. In that case, what happens? Output will not be in our control, right? The main role of the feedback is what? Output should be in our control in such a way it detects the signal and automatically corrects the signal. So to get the proper output, gain also should be proper. So we have to maintain the constant gain, or we have to maintain the gain in such a way that we get the controlled output. For that, to get the gain, to have the better gain, one GH value should be always less than 1, or you can say in negative. Then only GH value should be in negative or it should be in less than 1. Then only we get the better gain. It means 1 plus GH here, this 1 plus GH is nothing but feedback. So feedback, if feedback is less, gain will be more. Okay, this is how feedback affects the gain. In the same way, sensitivity. In the same way, how it affects the sensitivity? Sensitivity is defined as the percentage change in transfer function to the percentage change in gain. This is the definition of the sensitivity. It can also be written as S, T and G. This is the notation we used to write to define the sensitivity. Sensitivity, transformation and gain. Okay, sensitivity change in transformation to change in gain. This is another representation. This is equal to percentage change in T, means we have to represent that with partial differentiation. Dou T divided by T divided by dou G divided by G. This is the mathematical representation of this definition. This can also be written as dou T by dou G into G divided by T. You call this as equation number 1. Okay, you call this as equation number 1. Now consider first part of the equation 1, that is dou T divided by dou G. So here dou by dou G of, we know what is transfer function, G divided by 1 plus GS. Substitute the value of T in this equation. So d divided by 1 plus gh, right? Now do the differentiation with respect to g. What you will get? This is in which form? I will write here. Dou t by dou g is equal to d by dt of, d by dg of g divided by 1 plus gs. How to solve? How to do the differentiation to these kind of functions? This is in u by v form. So v into differentiation of u minus u into differentiation of v divided by v square. In that way we have to do the differentiation. So v into differentiation of g is 1 minus u into differentiation of v is h. Differentiation of 1 is 0 and differentiation of g is 1 divided by 1 plus gh square divided by v square. So plus gh minus gh get cancels. What remains? 1 divided by 1 plus gh square will remain. This you call as equation number 2. Now come to the other part of the expression, g by t. So g by t can be written, see this formula, with the from this formula can be written in terms of g by t as this you take into the denominator side, this will go to the numerator side. The given equation in g by t can be written as g by t is equal to 1 plus gh. This you call as equation number 3. Now use 2 and 3 in equation 1. Use both the equations in equation 1 and we will get the final equation as STg is equal to dou t by dou g into g divided by t. This is nothing but dou t by dou g value is 1 divided by 1 plus gh square into g by t is 1 plus gh. So 1 plus gh, 1 plus gh get cancels. What remains? 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus gh only remains. So sensitivity, we proved that sensitivity also depends upon 1 plus gh factor only. If 1 plus gh is less, sensitivity will be more. If 1 plus gh is more, sensitivity will be very less. So hence feedback affects the sensitivity also, that also we proved here. In the third case, how it is going to affect the stability also, that we see. Stability, transfer function of stability is given by again g divided by 1 plus gh, right? Now to get the stability of any system or to get the stable state or to bring the stable system into stable state, the main thing is output should be in our control. If the output is in our control, then only we can achieve the stability state of the system. Okay, if gh value is minus 1, what happens? What happens to this gain, or what happens to the overall transfer function? It becomes infinity. Infinity means output will not be in our control. It behaves like anything. System behaves in such a way that we cannot control that system. It becomes uncontrollable. Then we cannot achieve the stability. We cannot achieve the stable state of the system. So in this way, feedback affects stability also. So we have to give the utmost care in designing the system towards the feedback. We have to design feedback very carefully to see all those things under control. Then only control system will be performing very well. The output will be in our control. Okay. So these are the 3 factors which are going to affect due to the feedback presence in the system. Next, we will see one important concept. We already studied what is Laplace transformation, why we use Laplace transformation. Okay, so Laplace transformation is a tool. Laplace transformation is a tool used to convert time domain into frequency domain. Again, if you want time domain back from the frequency domain, what we have to do? For that we use inverse Laplace transformation. So inverse Laplace transformation is a technique used to convert frequency domain signals in frequency domain parameters into time domain parameters. So it is in the name itself we have answer, it is inverse Laplace. What Laplace does, inverse to that it will does. How it will do, where we use, those all we'll see here. To bring back the frequency domain into time domain, we use inverse Laplace transformation. How to represent that, see here. Inverse Laplace transformation. LT stands for Laplace transformation. Okay. So Laplace transformation of inverse Laplace transformation of f of s is nothing but f of t. To get f of t back, we have to do the inverse Laplace to the f of s function. So to do this, we need to write the given f of s function into numerator and denominator form. The given function we have to write in the numerator and denominator form, both are in s domain because it is in Laplace transform. We are doing the inverse. So to do the inverse Laplace transformation steps, I am telling you, the given function we have to write in numerator and denominator form. Then we need to define some terms here: order, then roots, then poles, then zeros. So order of this root means, first of all, roots means the powers of the numerator and denominator are denoted or represented with the roots. It means if here n square is there and d cube is there, means it is having second order. It is second order equation. This is third order. Denominator order is third, numerator order is second. Now roots of the numerators, what are the roots are there? Roots of the numerator are denoted with zeros, are called as zeros. Roots of the denominator are called as poles. These two things we have to keep in mind because we have one important topic, that is root locus. To solve those problems, we need to have clarity on what is zero and what is poles. Okay, in any given equation, numerators roots represents the roots of the numerators represent zeros and roots of the denominators represents the poles. Okay, then order of the equation means powers of the numerators and denominators are nothing but order of the roots or order of the equation. If it is 2, order of the numerator is 2, and if it is 3, order of the denominator is 3. Then one more important condition to find the inverse Laplace transform of any function is if the power of the denominator or if the order of the denominator is greater or equal to order of the numerator, then only we can find the inverse Laplace transformations for such functions. What is that condition? Denominator order is always higher, always greater or equal to order of the numerator, then only we find the inverse Laplace transformation, otherwise we cannot find. Here it is 2 and here it is t, means for these kind of functions we can find inverse Laplace transformation because denominator order is 3, numerator order is 2, so 3 is greater than 2. If it is 1, in that case we cannot apply the inverse Laplace transformation because it is not satisfying the condition. Understood? What is the main condition? Denominator power should be greater than or equal to numerator power. And roots of the numerators are called as zeros and roots of the denominators are called as poles. Let us understand this in detail with the help of one simple example. Okay? One simple example we'll see. Find inverse Laplace transformation, ILT, shortcut I am writing. Find inverse Laplace transformation of f of s is equal to s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 3 and s plus 4. So this is the given function, s plus 3 into s plus 4, and see here solution. So inverse Laplace transformation means we need to find f of t. The given function is in s domain, we have to convert that into time domain using inverse Laplace transformation. To solve that, first see what is the, how many roots are there. Numerator, this is the roots of the numerator, these are the roots of the denominator, and check the power. Main condition, what is our main condition? To check whether it is satisfying the condition or not to apply the Laplace transformation. Power of numerator is s, power of denominator is s into s into s, s cube, means it is satisfying the condition. Denominator is greater than numerator. In that case, we can find the inverse Laplace transformation. To find the inverse Laplace transformation, what we have to do, we have to write the given, we have to use one method here. That is method is called as partial fraction. To find the inverse Laplace, we have to use partial fraction method, that you already know very well. You have studied that in mathematics. You are very familiar with partial fraction. So once again, see here. Write the given function s plus 2 divided by s into s plus 3 and s plus 4. This is nothing but how to write the given equation in partial fraction, you already know. Select the constants as a, b, c. A divided by s plus b divided by s plus 3 plus c divided by s plus 4. This is how we write the partial fraction. Then take the LCM. S into s plus 3, s plus 4. What remains on the numerator? A into s get cancels, s plus 3, s plus 4 plus b into s plus 4 plus c into s plus 3. This is what we get in the numerator, and on the left hand side s plus 2 is equal to s plus 3 into s plus 4. This get cancels. What remains? S plus 2 into a into s plus 3 s plus 4 bs into s plus 4 plus cs into s plus 3. Now we have to select the roots. We have to select the values for the roots from the given equation only. Here, what is the value of s here? S is equal to, what are the different roots of the s? S is equal to 0. S plus 3 means it is minus 3. S plus 4 means s is equal to, we have to compare the given equation with 0. Given roots with the given equation with the 0, then only with the help of that we will be finding out the roots. Here s is equal to 0, s plus 3 is equal to 0, s plus 4 is equal to 0. So these are the equations. With this help of these equations, we will be finding the roots. This is 0, s is equal to minus 3 and s is equal to minus 4. So 0, minus 3 and minus 4 are the different values, are the roots of the given equation, and we have to find out the values of a, b, c with the help of the values of s one by one respectively. For the first case, at s is equal to 0, put the value of s equal to 0 in the given equation. What you will get? 2. A into 0 plus 3 is 3, 0 plus 4 is 4. Anything here, substitute s value 0, this whole equation becomes 0, this whole equation becomes 0. What you are going to get? 3 into 4 is 12. 12 a is equal to 2. Therefore, what is the value of a? A is equal to 1 divided by 6. Value of a is 1 divided by 6. So in the same way we have to find the values of b and c. In the same way we have to find the values of b and c. So substitute the second condition of s. At s is equal to minus 3, the equation becomes on the left hand side minus 3 plus 2 means it will be minus 1. This is equal to, substitute here a, if you put minus 3, this becomes 0. Then b, s is minus 3. So minus 3 minus 3b and here s value is minus 3. Minus 3 plus 4 is 1 into 1 it is, then plus, if you put minus 3 here, again this becomes 0. This whole term becomes 0. So what remains here? Minus 3b minus 1. Therefore b value will be 1 by 3. So this is the value of b. And similarly at s is equal to minus 4, substitute the value of s as minus 4 in the given equation. Minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2. Again here a into minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1. So this will be minus 1. Oh sorry, this becomes 0. Whole term becomes 0. Then plus, here if you put minus 4 plus 4 0 into anything is again 0. Then again here what you will get? C into minus 4, it means it is minus 4c. Minus 4 plus 3 is minus 1. This will be minus 1. So minus into minus plus, so you will get 4c minus 2. Then what is the value of c? C is equal to minus 2 by 4 means minus 1 divided by 2. So this is the value of c. Now we got all the three values of the constants which we have selected here, a, b, c. Now substitute the values of a, b, c in this given equation, in equation number 1. After that we have to find the inverse Laplace of that. So what is the value of a, b, c? I will write here only because I want to erase that. B value is 1 by 3 and c value is minus 1 by 2. Now substitute the values of a, b, c. What you are going to get in this equation? This is nothing but f of s is equal to a value is 1 by 6 into 1 by s plus 1 divided by 3 into 1 by s plus 3. Then c value is minus 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2 into 1 divided by s plus 4. So I already substituted the given values, substitute the values of ABC in the given equation. Now find the inverse Laplace transformation. Apply inverse Laplace transformation. After applying inverse Laplace transformation, this becomes what? This becomes f of t. Okay, 1 by 6 into inverse Laplace of 1 by s is 1, because u of t is value of u of t is 1, because it is, if it is greater than 0 its value is always 1. Then plus 1 by 3 into inverse Laplace of s plus 3 is e raised to minus 3t. You already know Laplace transformation of e raised to minus at is what? 1 divided by s plus a. This equation is in s plus a format. S plus a in place of a you have 3. Okay, therefore e raised to minus 3t. If here plus is there, minus, if it is minus is there, plus we have to write. These are the formulas we have to remember. Then what is the inverse Laplace of this? 1 by 2 into e raised to minus 4t. So this is how we have to write the given problem or given equation in terms of inverse Laplace transformation. This is how we have to solve the problem to find the inverse Laplace transformation technique. With this, we came to know that what is control system, what are the types of the control systems are there, what is open loop control system, what is closed loop control system, what is feedback, what are the types of feedbacks are there, what is transfer function, what is Laplace transformation and what is inverse Laplace transformation, how to solve the problems using Laplace transformation and inverse Laplace transformation technique. Okay, then what is the transfer function of closed loop control system and open loop control system, which transfer function we use throughout the syllabus. We use closed loop control system, and the feedback of closed loop control system is negative feedback, because negative feedback only employed everywhere in the control systems. We always subtract the signal from the input signal only. That is possible in negative feedback. With this, I'll be concluding today's session. In the next section, we will see on the interesting topic, that is mathematical model of control system. What are the ways to write the mathematical equations of the control system, that we will study in next class. That is very interesting and important. So with this, I will be concluding. If you have any doubts, please write me in the comment section. Bye.